Energy. My guy, go tap up your energy. I heard they looking for me. You can find me in the kid busy room on tilt. This fool all my people been torn. They burn the broke down, but they back still up on bill. I tapped into another storm in that form. As I know I'm on rap just to get the cat bill. Put on for the folk on the bed and the bills in the streets and the hills, and it's just that real. God, just so real. It's a movie out to focus and we act to be seen. High just up scene. I don't wanna make a scene just to be on the screen. Blow steam for the grain. I ain't put down the mic since I picked up the thing. See too many go blind cause they won't blink. They say it be a slow ride when you see King of Boogie board on the low tide. No sunscreen, no sun go king. Go and show me a new level when I'm dancing on the step. They told me to be cautious but it just give me nausea. Brother died so I'm running hard what was left. My mother let me steps and I'm trying to do my best. But it's trying in the mud with these pigs on my breath. They going ham, scrub a leg playing, but they give a damn for be the grits and the jam that was left. Look at them niggas rolling. Look at them pigs rolling. Why my skin swollen? Too much pressure. 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 Look at them niggas rolling. Look at them pigs rolling. Why my skin swollen? Too much pressure. Too much pressure. Too much pressure. Too much pressure. Too much pressure.
The way the hell is down, keep us stressed up. Still my head high with my chest up. I try to God till you know I stay blessed up. And I'm damn near perfect when I messed up. As some people trying to get our respect up. Black on black money, get our checks up. And the flow so sick, I need a checkup. You my queen, cause you equal from the neck up. Stay high like a bird's feathers. Matter of fact, a helicopter's propellers. Rock our own shit, it ain't nothing you can sell us. 3 steps ahead, it ain't nothing you can tell us. Ain't got a lighter, then they still gon' smell us. Call me Verde, you're Mr. Green. Stay fresh as pine sol, I miss the clean. Talk a lot of shit, I sip Listerine, but I can back it up. When I open up shop, I make 'em pack it up. Laughing to the bank, bitch cracking up. Money like pancakes, how I stack them up. Full speed ahead, no slacking up. Better learn to play your role, stop acting up. Front line with the puppets, how I back them up. Baby powder in my palm, then I slap them up. Yeah, that's what's up, nigga.
Look at them niggas rolling. Look at them pigs rolling. Why my skin swollen? Too much pressure. 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 Look at them niggas rolling. Look at them pigs rolling. Why my skin swollen? Too much pressure. Too much pressure. Too much pressure. Too much pressure. It's too much pressure. Look at them niggas.
Till my head high with my chest up.
Look at the pigs. Pressure. Pressure.
Send a letter bomb to your editor. Personally describing a horror scene. Blow your mind like the Predator. Sever your preconceptions by stating the facts. Them dudes laying the vocals, Gene Panay. Sports talk, entertainment, news, and politics. Relationships, logical steps, and common sense. Topics of conversation for the masses to connect. After the broadcast, give you reasons to reflect. Respect all opinions, but we're here to serve the core audience food for thought. Welcome to Furthermore.
What's going on? It's your man Drez the Beatnik.
Are the mics on?
Yep. Welcome to Furthermore, y'all. What's going on?
Wait. Can I hear us?
Can you hear me?
Can you hear me? Turn the headphones up.
Yeah, the headsets is down a little bit.
Okay, just
where
a
we
little
at?
bit.
Coming
All
just
right,
to
there we
increase.
go.
Wake that punk
Light
ass
increase.
up.
Turn me up a little bit more.
Hey, there we go.
Okay.
We in there like somewhere.
All right. Hold on.
Great, gorgeous, and beautiful morning, all you people out there.
All right. So this is a pink Oreo. All right.
The pink Oreo. Damn.
Are y'all talking about me?
Yes.
Well, I'm over here trying to fix
You're
this.
the creamy filling.
A pink Oreo. You're a
Look
pink
at that.
filling.
Is that the Valentine Oreo edition?
Aw.
Setting off a little bit of love early.
Way early. Let's get to it. Let's start advertising it now.
Because it's necessary.
Love all day, every day.
Well, I missed y'all too. Thank you.
Man, we've missed
It's all
y'all.
love.
What's going on, man?
It's all love. I ain't tripping. It's all love.
We come in prayer and touch and agree this morning. We all miss each other. Let's do a unified hand. Guys in there, let's all join hands. We back.
Yum yo.
Not yum yo.
Hey, have y'all seen those? I don't know what's the proper name for them, but those harmony bowls, the ones where you got the little, I don't know what it's called. Again, somebody out there can correct me or.
Is that harmony bowls?
I call it a harmony bowl because you hit it and then you rub it around the rim.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I call it a hum-diddy bowl. It's a hum-diddy bowl.
Hum-diddy.
Say what?
Hum diddly.
Boom, boom.
Who?
Sauce.
Say that again.
Hum diddly.
Hum-diddy.
Hum-diddy.
Hum-diddy bowl.
All right, so I got a question.
Yeah.
Where were you last week? I know where Quest was. He was on the phone.
Listen, he was on who? He was
on the phone. He called in.
What?
He was a part of the show.
Oh.
Yeah.
What? I ain't had nothing to do. I was driving 95 on 95 and I was watching and I was like, man, they got some good points. I said, not only did I want to ask some questions, but I also want to add a little bit of input. So I called the hotline. Call in now at 678-615-3467. If you would like to get on and leave your 2 cents on the show or just talk a little shit, we invite it.
Yeah, so last weekend, I had to get a new battery, but I had to go down to Macon.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Good making
So
trip.
you was at a
Listen,
trip.
I think you seen my Instagram when I seen Cotton. Like we went to Perry,
Not
Georgia.
Cotton.
He seen the video. Like we stopped and like it's just straight roads when we got off the exit before we got to my great uncle's house. Like he had a huge cookout.
Did you jump out and try to pick some?
First and third of all, let me tell you something.
For the ancestors.
So
How?
let me set this up.
To understand what the ancestors
Let me set
felt
this
like.
up
He
for
said,
you.
did he jump out?
It's my
Did she
sister
jump out?
driving. One of my older sisters driving. Her
pick
boyfriend
some.
in the front seat. Me and my elder sister in the back seat.
Right.
So we, me and Sheikah back there. That's my elder sister. We back there in the
Shout
back
out
seat
Sheikah.
board. So I'm
Shout out
sitting
Honda
here.
forever.
So I'm sitting over here. I'm like, oh, okay. Wait, is that Cotton? And we come into a stop sign, so literally all four of us shift over to the right side. My sister's recording behind me. I said, what in the fabric of our lives is going on down
How
here?
dare you?
Right here. Right.
The fabric of our lives. Whose slogan is that? That's where you got it from?
Cotton. That's Cotton's logo.
So-
Slogan.
Listen, it got thorns and stuff on. You know how in the movies when they show them?
Yeah.
It'd be all fluffy and
Yes.
just peaceful. They're just
And it was
No,
just the
you
field
gotta.
of it,
It's like
so-
this brown thing around it, like this husk,
Yes.
and you have to peel it off to get what's inside of it out.
How does the
I
opaque
asked
one know
if-
that? Yes.
That's why I asked if you tried to.
First of all, I didn't get out the car because everything down in Macon and Savannah, I'm sorry, Savannah, just
be.
feels like,
Don't be.
slavery. Like, I feel the hangings. Like, that's how I felt when I went through there.
Yo,
Because it was just a white field, and I thought
It's
it was
a
like them
different
little
hot.
flowers that you just blow. That's what I was just like,
that's not what this is.
when we got to the stop sign, that's when I knew for sure it was the fabric of our people's lives
You
in the
was-
field to the right of me.
That's what I'm saying. Like you got to jump out and touch that just to see what we lived through. That was a
And then
moment.
The
Look.
fact that it's so open out there, I was just like, and this is the sun that my people was under, and I'm over here complaining.
But you're in September though. They did the joke in June and July.
It was still hot out there.
as a mofo.
I'm sure it was.
Sure of it. And now that you say so, it's like, I mean, it's yeah. I don't know if that's something that I want to experience because it does like seeing that it's cotton. It's something that we all use and everything, but to see the field
Yeah,
and then you got to
Imagine, yes.
people out there
right.
all
And
day.
people that look like me.
No, it was
All day.
darker than us.
Well, first and third of all,
We was in the house.
don't say that to me. I come from a dark-skinned family. Don't say that to me.
There was a
Yeah,
lot
we
of
was- we
division
would've
going on
burned.
there.
We'd have burned.
Somewhere down the line, when the other color maybe have gotten into my family, they were out of slavery. Okay, first and third of all.
Ours too.
So I went in the house. My people were in the field. My
Oh my
people were
God.
in the field.
Oh my God.
So, no picking cotton for you.
No picking cotton for me. I went down there with one or a few sole purposes. So my uncle down there, he makes corn liquor. So he makes moonshine.
I was about to say gin.
Cone liquor.
I was
He
like,
made
where there's
cone liquor.
Where there's
That's why I
cotton?
paused. I was just like,
Where there's cotton? It
he
got to
make cone
be
liquor.
somebody bootleg.
Somebody bootlegging.
Raven
No,
Claude.
he
Did
makes
y'all
it.
know that
He
that's
makes
the whole?
wine and moonshine.
You ain't bring none back?
I sure did.
It's where?
Is that in my home?
Oh, at the
just
house.
found
You didn't bring
good.
none
I'm
for
glad you
us
ain't got
on the
one.
Furthermore Podshow.
I did
Nothing.
not. Listen, I don't know who drinks moonshine. I can't bring everybody that type of poison.
I mean, it's just
I'd have took
Try
one for
this.
the road.
Cause we from the South for real, for real. We just all
Try
passing
this.
around in mason jars, and then we left out like he gave it to us for like $20. It's like it's in a cup bigger than that. It's like a really fat mason jar, and it has like peach, strawberry, and like
he
a blackberry.
flavors them.
He flavors
It's
them.
not white lightning.
Listen,
Boy.
I got a peach one, which is I tried them all, but the peach one I got is super strong. I've had it for a week now. I don't think I got through like 3 or 4 ounces. I ain't got that much.
Christmas,
Shit.
Lord.
Moonshine ain't nothing to play with.
At
No,
all.
it's not.
You do that around
You start your
safe
car with that
people.
stuff. Well, you used to be able to start your car with it. Now the car's electric.
And then, but
Can't do
there's
it no
nothing
more.
with moonshine. Out of all the drinks, like you never hear anybody, like I'm talking about, even in the industry, you don't hear people be like, "Oh man, I get some Hennessy, I throw some Hennessy back, or some Douce, or some what's the new one, the Tito, not Tito's, but
Casamigos.
Casamigos. Yeah,
Yep.
I fuck some Casamigos up. You
Tequila
never.
lovers are mad at all you people that drink Casamigos and tequila drinkers are really mad at y'all. That is the crappiest tequila.
What?
Which one?
All the ones?
and
Tito's.
I don't like neither
Don
one of them.
Julio, the 1940 something, whatever.
1492 or something like that.
Something Azul, like all of them. I tried all of them, and I tried like tequila that like Mexican people, because that's where it come from. Tell you about. It's a big difference.
I mean,
course
I believe
is.
It's a
we-
huge.
this
and
is like
they
a
all
taco.
cost lower.
Come on,
than
you
the
ever had a
cost.
real taco?
Yes,
Not a
that's
Taco
my
Bell
favorite.
taco.
That's my favorite food. That's my second favorite food.
That's what I'm saying. So
Street
if you have
tacos.
if you have an authentic taco versus an Americanized taco,
Right. I love
Flavor,
tacos. I love
flavor.
them.
What is that?
what you mean Taco Bell is all day American
I
taco?
love them both. But street tacos, like the authentic, that is my favorite thing to eat. Like, for real.
Birria. Is it
But you think
Birria? Man,
when they
things
started Taco
buzz.
Bell, you don't think that they consulted with somebody who knew anything
No.
about authenticity?
I don't think
No.
so.
Mexican food.
I think-
they just
I
think
think-
they're like,
no.
fuck it.
There we go,
Like,
smoke.
that's
That
it.
jump in.
That is grade D meat in there.
Oh
They
yeah, I
don't
mean,
even, there's no real taco for Mexican people. They don't put ground beef on their taco.
Hell no.
it's just true. Carne asada.
That's it. That's my
it.
favorite.
Real meat.
Yeah.
I need
Real
spicy
meat.
sauce on there,
I
some
don't fuck with
limes,
none of them
and some
tequilas.
radishes.
The last 3 times I did Tito's, I think I ended up with cheeks exposed. Like
Not
ass was
cheeks
out.
Oh man.
Yeah, like I got that.
cheeks
I
in
got
your
that
mouth?
hammer.
no.
No, not in my mouth. My cheeks, my pants,
You
my
funny
ass
as
was
hell.
out because I was that hammered. Yeah, Tito's. Oh my bad. Smoke can't hear us.
But Tito's is vodka.
We're talking.
Yeah.
Tito's is vodka.
Tito's is
I thought Tito's was tequila.
Nah, it's
No,
vodka. I love
Tito's is
Well, what's
vodka.
Tito's.
that? Well, tequila
Like-
is not my best drink. But either way,
It's
I
not.
quit drinking anyway. So
I mean, that's
What?
really a good
Doing
thing.
anything.
Quit drinking.
quit drinking. Like cold turkey, quit drinking. No plan, no anything. Just
How
quit.
often
drinking.
were you drinking
number
before
one,
you
I'm
quit?
proud of you.
You said how often was I drinking?
Before you quit, yeah.
Now, when you say how often, do you mean daily or how many
Daily,
drinks?
weekly, how many drinks,
Let
all
me
of that.
see.
How many
Since-
drinks a day?
Are you drinking daily?
Not like, I mean, but then I was drinking like wine coolers because
Okay.
I had this discussion with some of the coworkers, and they's like, "Oh, nigga, you drink the weak drinks. You always with a Mike's lemonade or a Twisted Tea
Yeah,
or
but that's
something."
like
I'm not-
5.6% alcohol.
I mean, yeah, but in relation to taking a shot or taking 3-4 shots or, in a mixed drink, I don't think it was that much. But I would drink maybe like, let's just say on average, 2 Mike's Hards a day. And it's just Mike's Hard or some type of mix,
Who's
just
hard?
some type of wine cooler. You said what?
She said, "Who's hard?"
Who's hard?
Pause, Granddad.
Mike's Hard Lemonade. I'm telling you, they trying to catch me in look,
Hard
Indecent exposure.
and super.
I had my fingernails done where I had claws because Halloween is coming up, and I was playing with the notion of passing as Blanca, so I wanted some claws, some authentic claws.
Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
That's my shit.
Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
But yeah, they broke off once I got dapped.
That happens.
I didn't know that I thought they were supposed, when you put that acrylic and stuff on there, I was trying to scratch your ass out. But
Pause. That wasn't a pause moment?
no, scratch your ass out. Like fucking somebody up. Are y'all awake back there? Can we get the buttons up here so I can hit them?
You said scratch the ass out. Well, that's a no. That's a hard no.
Somebody's ass out. Like Claude, and again, I was doing research. So women who have long nails, again, I think I know now that it is very difficult to handle things and do things because now you have a different.
No, they don't.
No. I'm saying for a first timer. Now of course, you've been wearing nails forever, but when you first put on nails, you can't go handling and doing everything as you would normally do.
Because you just curve your fingers like
exactly.
when you first
like
get
even
nails.
driving,
You
can't just go grab the steering wheel and be like you can't make a fist. You cannot make a fist because your nails is in your hand. So you got to find out some different ways. So I kind of see why,
feels like.
Why girls be like, period poo, and doing this shit. I know what that shit is for now because of the nails.
Yes. When we first get our nails done, we have whole conversations with our hands on purpose.
I understand that. I
sure
thought it used to annoy me.
Look at my shit.
Yes.
It used to annoy me because I thought it was so much extra
It's very much
traumatization in it.
It is something. That's what it is.
And then
Trying to show off the nails.
and then 2 weeks later, it's like
right, because that paint starting to chip, or they lost 2 nails,
or the fill-in ain't had yet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying.
But yeah,
no attack. No attack.
That's not an attack on me.
But
so Muda was in Macon.
You was in Macon, and Quest, you went to DC, DMV, right?
Yeah, Maryland.
DMV.
I was in more Maryland than
Not
DC this
to be
time.
confused
How's
with
the
the
family?
Department of Motor Vehicles.
Everybody's doing great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what's up.
everybody's doing great. Everybody's alive. Everybody's healthy. Everybody's progressing, going through life, going through channels.
Did you ride through some tobacco fields?
Did I ride through tobacco? Nah, man, somebody hit me with a whole zone of that thing when I got there, though. I was smoked out. I just chilled. I ain't do too much running around.
All right.
It's funny, and I want to say this to everybody who has hit me up like, oh, man, I'm here. Come holler. Nigga, I came 600 miles. I am not moving another
Man, listen,
foot.
you are absolutely right.
Moving
That's the
another
rule.
fucking foot. If you got people who would travel, come to different states to see you,
And you
or
can't go
anything,
20 minutes down the block.
listen, I don't give a hill of bean what your work schedule is, what you got to do. Again, and
Hold on, slow down. When you say that, look at the camera.
Say what?
When you say what you're about to
I
say,
don't
look
care
at the
what
camera.
your schedule is.
Yeah, all of that. Look at
All
the
of
camera
that.
and talk to them people. Because if it took you 12 hours.
9 hours. I was balling.
Okay, you was balling. All right, so 9 hours to get there.
Mm-hmm.
And how many miles you said? 600.
It's about 600 roughly.
And they can't come 20 minutes to see you.
But it's always been like that. Like I've displaced from DC, Maryland, Georgia, North Carolina, Colorado, Maryland. Every time that I've moved somewhere, everybody where I was, they were like, damn, when you coming back? And these are people who live in the same state and who are 20 minutes away. Damn, when you coming back? Are you coming back? When you gonna come visit? And then I do come visit and they like, oh dog, man, well I'm just right over here in Stone Mountain, or I'm right over here on the south side, bitch, 600 miles. I'm right over here where I am. Come holler at me when you want to get with me.
That's the whole end of a sentence.
There you go.
Nothing
Say it
personal.
with your hands.
But I
so they
think
know.
everybody knows this. When you travel and you go do something, you make plans to travel. Unless you just gonna go post up somewhere and sit down. And don't ask me and tell me where you at. Come see me or hit me up and meet me where.
There you go.
That's
That's called reciprocity. You don't travel that far. If it can't come to you, then I'm sorry, y'all. That's rude. That's rudeness. Please don't do that.
Go.
Don't do that.
You know, you gotta cut them leaves up.
So when did you get back?
Branches up.
When did you get back, Wes?
I think 2-3 days ago.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying, what's today? Sunday.
Today is Sunday.
I got back on. Oh no, not 2 days. Got back Wednesday. I flew back Wednesday.
Okay.
Yeah, because I had some pools to do. I had to get back to work. Vacations cost, and everything right now is just for me personally and where I'm at in life. It's not a looking for extra means to celebrate and spend money on things that's not going to
further
produce any type of yield. I need something to yield. everything I'm doing, everything I put my dollar into is like now I'm looking at, okay, if I put $1 in the gas tank, how many miles am I traveling? What am I traveling to? What am I getting out of this mile? What am I getting out of this time invested? Because I had some talk with some coworkers also, and some people who I work with, as far as just time. Like nobody cares about how much money you're paying. I got offered a security supervisor job, and the guy was like, yeah, man, we seen your profile online, such and such. Yeah, do you want to come in for an interview? And I'm like, man, if y'all not talking, and I said this verbatim, if y'all not talking about $20, I cannot. I mean, let me
miss me with the conversation.
Yeah,
right.
let me say you miss me with the bullshit. But because again, if you got a certain skill set or you know how to maintain and manage and do different things, I want my worth. I don't want no, well, we can't do this and we could look into it 6 months down the line or 3 months or after a 90-day anything. Like right now, if you are unemployed or looking to make a move up, it is a great time in this industry or in this time, because people can't keep people to work. They cannot keep people to work. It's about to be the holiday season.
Yep.
You know, all of these places that want to make millions of dollars, they're hiring people. But what you do is don't just go in there and take the job at Kroger. And I'm saying Kroger, Target, UPS, FedEx,
the
or
seasonal
anywhere.
places that people are going to hire you for.
Exactly. And definitely don't do it for the dollar amount that they are advertising. Me and Panay always joke, and we say, you know, these companies say, yeah, we're hiring for $35,000 and up for the year, for your year's salary. And it's like, yeah, why are you even saying $35,000? Let's talk about the up. I would like to talk about the up. I am focused on the up. What is the up part? Start me at the up conversation. So whether you busboying or doing anything, like even in your industry with food, I don't know what the amount is, and I think we had this conversation before about
well, the servers make the lowest end. They always get the short end of the stick.
It's ridiculous because they're out there doing
the most
90% of the leg work.
The most.
They're on their legs, and unless they giving people hoverboards and letting them carry the train, you know, now that's cool. Or let me put on some skates
on some new joints. Yeah, that's Sonic. Sonic does that. They give them skates, but I still think they only get like $9.50 or $10 to do that though.
And that's bullshit, because if you ever went to the skating ring, all you gotta do is skate for 30 minutes. You'll be like, man, get these bitches off my feet.
Period.
So if you gotta do an 8-hour shift for some skates, man, y'all go talk to y'all supervisors. And again, talk to your supervisor. Ain't gonna say nothing's gonna happen, because you gotta get the ball rolling, because we're trying to get to, the resolution is getting more money. If enough people don't ask for enough money, nobody is going to hear it.
That's what it is. A lot of people don't know they can negotiate something. Like we all know, like you saying and up, like I'm going for that and up part, but a lot of people do not know they can negotiate their salary. And it's always you getting a job and people get comfortable somehow talking about how much they make an hour, and they realize like, oh, I should have did this. We do the same work. Like yeah, you probably should have in the beginning, but that's definitely a useful skill that I think a lot of people need to learn, and a lot of people in our culture, because we do have this like settling energy.
But I don't think it's a settling, more so than it's I'm uninformed about that.
That's what
you know
it
what
is,
I'm saying?
yeah.
Because if like I thought I was doing something when I made $52,000 a year. I wasn't making $52,000 a year because taxes, benefits. So I was at about 30. I was about the 30.
That was a salary. So yeah, you know,
I was making about 35 after all of that. You know what I'm saying? The number was good at the front then, but yeah, you're not. But then, how many hours are you putting in?
That's what I was about to say. You was probably putting in
damn near 60 plus hours doing that to get that 52.
75,000. You was putting in $75,000 worth of hours
to get half of that.
Y'all go get y'all bread. I'm going to say it, and to any company, because everybody needs to restructure. There's no way in the world like they're throwing away as much food. And I'm not trying to go off topic or get personal, but I'm just trying to relate it to make sense to in layman's terms. These companies throw away a lot of money, throw away a lot of food, a lot of resources. You cannot tell me that there's no way that people could be sheltered. Rest in peace to the Queen. But I forgot what it was, and me and my pops was talking about how much land that they have. And it's like, with all of that land, you should not have poverty in certain areas. And I'm not just talking about England, but just anywhere in general.
Speaking of that, that's a perfect segue.
That's it.
Brett Favre.
What he doing
welfare
now?
queen.
What you mean? This dude snatched up like $7 million, 5 of it to build a new gym at University of Southern Mississippi.
Yeah.
Where his daughter was gonna play volleyball. And this was welfare money.
Hold on, that's where he got it from?
Yes.
He got
That's why the state of Mississippi and everybody's just calling him like the welfare queen, because all that money went to him.
And it was like $70 million total. Yeah.
Run the clip.
Run it.
You know, you have to make a choice whether you want to pay your light bill or whether you want to put food on the table.
Tamara Edwards raised 4 children on her own in Mississippi, applying for welfare benefits just once for childcare while she worked. Each year, Mississippi gets $86 million in welfare money from the federal government, though the state rejects 90% of those who apply, including Edwards.
When I reapplied, I was not able to be on it again because they told me that they didn't have the fundings for it.
But the state was dispersing millions more of its welfare dollars, just not to families that urgently needed it. In court documents and audit reports, the state alleges that the head of Mississippi's welfare agency squandered more than $70 million intended for children in poverty, instead using it as a private slush fund to benefit his family and friends. Tens of millions of dollars on items like hiring retired pro wrestlers, first-class air travel, a horse ranch, and $5 million to build this women's volleyball facility at the University of Southern Mississippi. That building with ties to an NFL Hall of Famer. Brett Favre's daughter played volleyball at the university. Text messages obtained by Mississippi Today show Favre saying he helped secure government grant money for a new arena. And he personally was paid more than $1 million to give 3 motivational speeches that never happened. Favre declined to talk to NBC News, but his attorney says he has been questioned by the FBI. Favre says he never knew it was welfare money and paid it back after demands by state officials. Favre still owes $228,000 in interest imposed by the state auditor.
I wanted to at least collect the facts.
Former U.S. Attorney Brad Pygott was hired by the state to find the money.
How is Brett Favre getting money that's supposed to get kids out of poverty?
It's a mystery to us. Here we had tens of millions of dollars sent by the country to do the thing that we need done the most, and it was squandered.
In July, he issued a subpoena to get more answers about that volleyball arena, including any communications between the university and former Governor Phil Bryant, whom Pygott says directed the spending. Bryant says he was unaware that welfare money was involved.
What happened to you after you filed your subpoena?
I was terminated.
The state welfare agency says they fired Pygott because the client and the lawyer were not on the same page. The investigation has only recently resumed. Welfare agency head John Davis was arrested and charged with bribery and conspiracy. He pled not guilty. The agency declined an interview, saying they are committed to rebuilding the trust of the citizens and making all future grant decisions by committee. So far, just $1.1 million has been recovered.
We're real people. There's real people out there that really need that money.
Ken Delanian, NBC News, Jackson, Mississippi.
70 million and only 1.1 is recovered, right? And supposedly Brett Favre paid his back. So where the hell is that money?
Yeah. I'm gonna go in a second. Give me. I'm still processing. I'm trying to.
Right, I'm still processing. How do you? Who transfers the funds? Like it was just like a debit exchange or something. Like how do you even go about
Venmo.
that?
The people working. I mean, and again, you got people. You have people hired for particular reasons.
Mm-hmm.
They sit at the computer. Hey, this comes down like y'all remember on John Wick when they went excommunicado.
Oh yeah,
on the whole building. These people don't care who's in there, who Winston is, who Wick is, who the dog is, and I forgot what's my man.
Right.
The caretaker either way. But all they know is, hey, we got an order, came down to shoot, excommunicado, put this number through, this place is now gone. You got these people working in there and they get these orders, okay, such as this money is allocated. Unless you have some type of legal knowledge of what's going on and how money needs to move, you're there for a check.
Right.
You're there for a check. They're
Exactly.
saying your salary is $42,000 to $48,000 a year. You think these people are like, hold up, where the fuck this money coming from and where is it supposed to be going?
Right.
They don't care. So a lot of these things do go through, and it touches on what we were talking about a couple of weeks back. What we was talking about accountability, checks and balances. This stuff is easy to happen. It's not. I'm not shocked that it happens. I think it's been happening for a long time, ever since the day of stagecoaches. Somebody's been squandering money, and money's been moving around the wrong way. They say, hey, this is supposed to go into, the town, but the brothel was the biggest thing. When you look in the old Western, it's like the brothel, the church, the bank, and then whoever runs the town, the mayor or sheriff or whatnot. These are the people with the biggest, houses or establishments, and this is where all the money is flowing.
All the money is at, right? So then, if the thing is, you have attached to this thing is a superstar who utilized this money, right? This is fraud. Why are they not talking about this on national media?
Right.
Because they still have to gather the information, and I do understand that, because they have to gather the information, but also they don't want to leak information that will put the wrong person in the crosshairs.
So you're saying between now and 3 and 6 months, after they've done their research and they find that he has something to do with it,
they're gonna look.
They're gonna throw him under the bus.
Nope. They're gonna cover it. They're gonna. Hey, a dog just shit right there. Instead of picking up the shit,
there goes the dog.
The shit.
Good. Yeah, there goes the dog.
They're gonna put something over it and be like, oh, well, it's just fertilizer. Somebody's gonna take the downfall for it. Somebody might allegedly get suspended or fined, or they got to pay this back over a certain amount of time, and all of this bullshit that the person who does the crimes on the lower level, they get thrown under the bus. They get, the people who was hitting the button and all this and that, they're going to start looking at the person who's making $32,000 and say, hey, you didn't do your job. You didn't do your job. You didn't look and see this. You didn't catch the red flag. Now we have to do an overall, what they call it when they say we got to do rehabilitation, or we got to do recurrent. We got to do recurrent training. Where they send you back and say, look, this is what you're supposed to do. Now we got to go by the book. Hey, the cameras are watching. Make sure everybody show their ass up on time. Make sure you're in uniform. It's just going to tighten up the shit for a minute, but that don't mean that anything's going to get changed. And but that's fucked up. All that money, and it could have went to a lot of places, but
it's supposed to go to kids who need to eat.
I think the money need to be made transparent. Like
that's the poorest state in the country.
Yeah. Then what's his where was it again?
Mississippi.
Okay,
that's the poorest state in the country.
Yeah, they just I think it's top 5 on murder capitals.
It probably is too.
Right.
I just seen the list. I think Mississippi was up there.
They ever get their water fixed out there?
You said what now?
I don't even think they did for that either.
They didn't get their water fixed yet?
I think
that was Flint.
Nah, it's not.
That was more recently Mississippi. Mississippi have like tar coming out of their
right.
What?
Oh, I think what's the name? Somebody, a couple rappers went out there and was taking a bunch of water out there. You right? Yeah. Nah, I don't think they got it fixed.
I missed all of that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. We was down at the New Black Wall Street this past weekend, and they're collecting water from Mississippi down there.
How are you collecting water in a new? Again, there's nothing wrong with it. Help however you can, but when another state. How does each state not have a supply of what they need to maintain? That is the question that I ask myself, and I also ask
capitalism.
I mean, that's ridiculous.
That along with water wars, but we're gonna continue that conversation after the break.
All right.
It all started with a vision, a hustle, a grind, discipline, dedication, faith, and loyalty. Sophisticated savage, the brand, the lifestyle. It's just different.
For that, you got to be able to see that number.
Welcome back, good people. Yo, I'm gonna do it now because they started the trend last week. Yo, if you have anything to say about anything we're talking about, 678-615-3467. Call us and put your 2 cents in.
Call me now.
No doubt. And speaking of last week, man, I want to give a quick shout out to our guest that we had on the show last week, man. Dress the Beatnik.
The Beatnik Dress.
Times
of Henry.
In fact, we got a quick highlight reel we wanna show.
Roll the clip.
I like to see smoke working. Look, smoke is working. The person who hosted this event / get together gathering is in the building today. Dress the Beatnik. What's going on, boss?
What's going on, good brother? Hey, also big up on the edit. That was amazing. That edit was amazing.
And we left last night and came right here to do it. That's why we left. We had to get here and get this footage for today's show because we knew you was gonna be here. And then also we have with us Henry Time.
Right, pleasure to be here.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
In the midst of greatness.
Man, listen, I feel absolutely fantastic being able to sit on this panel with the two of y'all.
Oh man,
I feel like an ant next to some jives. What's the name of the place that you are throwing events?
The East Atlanta Treehouse.
The East Atlanta Treehouse.
Mm-hmm. The Treehouse is literally just on my end. It's a reflection of my experiences and my education.
Right.
The record label had to pay 11.5% of whatever their total gross amount was expected to be to the MCPS, which was the Mechanical Copyright Protection Society, right? And they was in cohesive with the PRS, the Performance Rights Society. These are the people that says, okay, it's going to be on this TV show, it's going to be performed, we're collecting your royalties.
For those out there, we're speaking about your ASCAPs, your BMIs, CSACs.
Things of that nature. For these young people, they don't understand the exit strategy, number one. You don't always have to hold on to things. But having the exit strategy that makes sense for not just 4 people,
right,
but 12 people.
Right.
Yeah, that's potent. That's powerful.
You gotta know what you're speaking on in order to obtain what you want. You know.
Yeah.
You can't say you want points because it's the topic du jour.
Say that again, Dre.
You can't ask for points because it's the topic of du jour.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, oh yeah, you know, I heard about points. Well, what's the point?
What we need in our culture too are accountability partners. Hold me accountable. You hold me accountable. Like, yo, did you complete that project? Yo, my completing my segment of the project is contingent on you.
There is something to be said about knowledge being free. However, if it's taking somebody an awful amount of time to learn how to master a thing, they're not just giving it to you just to give it to you. It's like, all right, cool, I'm gonna teach you how to do this. I don't need the whole world, but if it works, hit me back.
All right, Paramotor Visuals doing things.
Shout out Dress the Beatnik, Henry Time, John Wilkes, and y'all for holding that down. That was a well needed conversation again.
Absolutely,
because it applies to so much stuff, not just business, but personal relationships and friends,
all of it,
and dealing with people. Because we was talking about, you gotta break the layers down of it. Just because you come and sit at a table and you say, hey, we want to do something, then that doesn't mean that it's going to get accomplished.
Right.
Because everybody is in a different point, different state of their life. They got a
Everybody
different
got a
mentality.
vision.
Right.
Mhm.
Everybody got a
Execution.
vision. It's the execution. And then even if, not to say that you got to have all of that ready, but you got to have what we say in basketball, coachable. You got to be coachable. If you're weak in this, if you're not as much as a ball handler, get the fucking ball out your hands and kick it to a ball handler. If you're not the best shooter, stop taking every shot and forcing the shot and get it to someone who's a scorer.
2K tours.
I swear to God, I'm talking to y'all too. If you're a rebounder, then do your job. But that does not mean that you're limited to that. But you also have to kind of exemplify that growth, and you got to be willing to grow, willing to learn, and willing to evolve when it comes to business. Not only in yourself, not only in what it is that you're going towards, but working with others.
Yes.
To accomplish
the goal.
The goal.
Yeah. That's
shout out to them. That was a dope. That was dope.
Yeah, we also had a dope moment when we received that first phone call during that segment.
That was the first phone call?
Let's run that clip.
The very first phone call.
Of streaming, it's hard to monetize. It's hard to keep up, should I say, with.
And for those that are tuning in, welcome back to the Furthermore
Welcome
Podshow.
back to the Furthermore Podshow.
Thank all of y'all.
Appreciate you.
Feel free to call in live 678-615-3467. That's 678.
Bada boom.
615.
Bada bing.
3467. And don't forget, if you're watching this on YouTube, once we finish and we showing live, don't forget to click, share, subscribe, and put those alerts on, man, so y'all can get these shows when they come out and they drop.
Listen, and I appreciate y'all for that. Just because this is not day one.
Day one.
Not the day one.
What's good? What I'm doing?
I think hit that green button.
Let's go. Send it back. There's a Bluetooth button that sends it back here.
All right, you're in tune to the
there it
Furthermore
is.
Podshow.
What's
Who's calling?
Yo,
what up?
Ahoy, ahoy.
Ahoy. That is, that's Coach Belafonte. That's the other guy.
Hey, buddy.
That's good,
Hey,
bro.
buddy.
Hey, buddy, man. I'm watching the show. Hey, look, man, y'all are sharing so much good information about controlling your music and owning it and being in a position to protect it if something happens. And I heard y'all talking about the streaming, and I didn't know that there wasn't a particular value on streams. I kind of always just looked at it, and I'm just piggybacking and also asking the question.
Absolutely.
But when you have those streams, I thought that was just kind of like a buzz gauge or a buzz meter for everybody else who was, you know what I'm saying, who might be not an artist, and it's like, oh, okay, such and such got 100,000 streams on a release of their video. I mean, I never thought that equivalated to any type of money, rather than you just got more attention coming towards you. So,
Well, it's actually both.
Yeah.
The crazy
Yeah,
part
it
is, like, 100,000, it's so wild because, like, in today's market, 100,000 streams is honestly not a lot of money.
It's like $10.
right, it's like a dollar.
Not even.
Yeah, it's like a dollar. That's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah, man. Actually, Coach Belafonte was the first phone call.
I didn't even know. I was so anxious because I was listening to the first segment. Then when y'all went to commercial, I was like, I'm not going to call now. I'll call and wait when y'all come back from commercial break.
Right.
So I didn't even know y'all had shouted out the number and all that. I was just like, man, let me check this number. I'm riding up 95. I'm speedballing the course. I ain't want to leave the group because the group was supposed to be catching them cops for me. So I was like, let me call this number and see if this don't work.
I like that.
And called and that was cool though. That was a good experience. So again, man, the number is there, 678-615-3467. Call in. We'd love to hear from you and hear y'all feedback.
Yeah, I definitely like to have another point of view thrown into the mix just to see.
It's always
you know what I'm saying?
Because it's furthermore, and furthermore is that conversation for that. I mean, we have a script. We do stay on some topics and we do touch on some things, but again, we're up here just getting perspectives and more so. I'm taking this information and feedback from after these conversations. I'm watching and I'm listening to y'all up here because I'm also evolving my perception on different things.
Right.
And you know, you can't
Same.
Isn't that what we're supposed to do when we had these conversations?
I mean, you're supposed to, but a lot of people don't because again, there's talking to respond and then there's talking to listen and learn.
To understand.
So, being in that mindset of this where I try to keep. I mean, I dropped my 2 cents. I'm not a scholar on nothing other than living. I know that I got 37 years of experience here on this life. I can't tell you how to do you, but I can show you how I do me, and I enjoy
watch me
watching
do
other people.
me.
Exactly.
Yeah, this guy, I was walking through the restaurant the other day, and this gentleman tells me, he's like, "Man, you're doing a great job." I said, "I do what I can, but if I could can what I would do, I'd sell it. But you can't can what you do. You can just do it.
You can. You can.
Nobody can be me but me.
You can can it, but that's what, and I got that from also. I mean, it helped with what they were talking about as far as planning because, again, everybody can say I want to do something, or they'll look at you'll scroll through your timeline and you see where you want to be, or you see a clip of somebody living a life of driving a car, and you be like, that's where I want to be. I want to do that, but people don't honestly understand how much work, red tape you gotta when they say cross your I's and dot your T's. That's what you're doing. And I know I'm dyslexic. I said that backwards fucked up. I talk like that.
Yeah, dot your I's and cross your T's.
Yeah,
we know what you mean.
Dot your I's and cross your T's. You really have to cross check a lot of stuff so you can prevent losing time. You know what I'm saying? Because it's all about workflow. Like when I started producing, it was like, yeah, I know a beat, this, and that. But then when you're talking about going from making one beat to now I have a catalog built, at some point in time, you figure out a workflow. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're a computer programmer, there's a million ways to get to that, but you have to figure out your workflow.
Your own.
That's what it is. Like I said, what I tell you the other day, consistency kills self-doubt. Like, you just gotta be consistent. You just gotta keep doing it. That's it.
Yeah, and put something on it all the time. Like just because you're a beat maker, entrepreneur, real estate, you don't have to do everything the same way every time. And it's not like, okay, well, real estate, you might take somebody and be like, well, I want to look at what land may be available. Like the house isn't even built yet.
Right.
You're just looking at the land. That might be taking it to another level rather than being a real estate agent who just, riding around looking at houses.
Is that a shameless plug?
To what?
Take it up another level.
No, not at all. I mean, I speak verses, but
I know.
It's never shameless. Oh, shout out Artist Lee. My boy Artist Lee for the dope threads. This is his gear up in Maryland. I told him I talked to him.
Maryland.
He laced me. He laced me
with
with some
snowflake
cotton.
on one side, and I see it ATL on the other side.
Nah, that's AT.
It definitely looks like an AT. I see how you would see ATL.
I told him that you could ask him. We just talked about it because we're gonna work on a collaboration piece because I'm down here. He said, does he like snow bunnies? He's married to a beautiful Nubian princess. So
what is snowflake?
Not an Obian,
because it's cozy. You said an Obian?
Obian.
What is that?
Not a Nubian.
Not a Nubian.
Obian.
Not a Nubian. A Obian.
What is an Obian?
I don't know. What's the difference between an Obian and a Nubian?
Old? Are you saying old?
Yes.
Oh, okay, my bad. I'm.
You thought he was saying Hobian?
I thought he said Hobian. I'm like, what is a Hobian?
Homeo and Homeo sapien. Homosexual.
No, it's Homo sapien.
It's Homeo.
I mean, but
Homeo.
It could be a Hobian.
Okay.
It could be a Hobian. People who like being hoes, and
there people are. There are some Hobians.
Hobians being hoes. Nah, he's not a. Nah.
He's not
a
Hobian.
Nah. He married a Nubian.
He married a Nubian, not an Obian.
Got you.
I like that.
11-11.
It can be used.
Yeah.
You got to can that shit. But nah, yeah. Shout out to the Artist Lee.
His name is Artist Lee.
Artist Lee.
That's what it is.
Clothing.
ARTIST. ARTIS.
Wait,
Robert Pillow.
Show you for the camera one more time.
We got the snowflake over there, and we got
Damn.
the A and the L.
Burr.
I told him, I said, man, this look because it looks like
You got
ATL.
a Gucci symbol in ATL. That's the Atlanta hoodie.
Nah, it's Artist Lee. His name is Artist Lee. I mean, but it works.
Yeah.
It works, and that's how, like, when you doing your branding, like how they was speaking last week, you want to have something that can be relatable, but it can also be distinguishable. But for it to look like ATL, look how many people can relate to it and put it on, and they can say, well, I don't care about the name Artist Lee, not saying that they don't care about it, but they just want it because it has an ATL on the side of it.
I look like it.
Or a Coke dealer could be like, I just want it because it got a snowflake on it.
Yeah.
You know, so again, just however you want to brand, you can brand and you can do things. It's just you got to be creative with it.
Absolutely.
So yeah, it's no shameless plugs though.
All right, just checking.
I was in Maryland getting cotton.
I want you to. This is your platform to give your shameless plugs.
I don't have a platform.
Shut your whole hole.
I am just an artist on the stage. This is
artistly.
This is the venue's platform.
The artist formerly known as.
This is your stage. Every time you sit in front of that microphone, just
Right.
it's her stage.
It's
every
your
time she
platform.
sits in front of hers,
Right.
And it's my platform every time
Say
I sit in front of
something.
this mic. Every single time. That's
Say
what
something
the
every chance
purpose
you get to
of,
say something.
The purpose of this is so that we use this platform to further our causes as individuals, as a unit, all of it.
So what's your cause?
Preach.
Mine, Black unity.
Okay, what's your cause?
My voice, really.
What's your cause, Gene Panay? My bad. Let's go to Smoke. Gene Panay isn't ready. Smoke. What's your cause, Smoke? Because it is a platform. So
Because I feel like it.
That's what I'm saying. So and again, that is okay. There's no problem. And I asked that question because a lot of people get pressured. I remember when I first started rapping, and my oldest brother asked me. He said, "What do you want to do?" And of course, me being humble or thinking that the humble answer is to be, well, I don't want to make money from this. I just want to do it for the love. Now, after reviewing my statements from then, it was completely opposite of exactly what I wanted to do.
Right.
I didn't want to be a rapper to keep it real or to just be doing this for the love. I wanted to be a rapper because I wanted to generate income at a way where it didn't involve school, so I can fund helping,
everything
my
else that you wanted to
community
do
and my people. So again, like, it's nothing wrong with just doing it, like, because we just doing it, and it takes that to be done. Like, before there was a way of doing podcasts, pod shows, a way of doing anything. People were just doing it, and just doing it became something to do. So now you have all of these people out here doing things, and they're like, oh, well, this is how you got to do it. This is how you got to do it. This is how you got to be successful. This is how you got to have a show. When you do this, you got to have platform. You got to build your artist. You got to build your brand. And big labels do that because they want to be able to monetize everything that you do now. That's why the 360 deals are so important. But they missed out, like, and I wanted to touch on that the other week. They missed out on the bootleggers. They mixed out on the people who can just get right to you. Like, we can put this on YouTube and we got a platform.
Right.
So now nobody can control that and come in there and say, well, this is how y'all have to do it. So yeah, it is our platform. Let's do.
Yo,
it's the people.
I don't know if we can cue it up, but there's a video that we shot at the Dresden Beatnik facility where Smoke was freestyling. Do we have that somewhere that we can pull up? You got some time? We can pull that up.
You know what?
Pull it up.
Is actually in edit mode right now.
It's in edit mode.
Yeah, we haven't finished it yet.
Damn, Smoke. I really want to see that video. He just out of nowhere just started dropping.
Not Smoke editing. It won't on my phone.
Oh, never mind.
I was working on it last night.
Gotcha.
Oh, okay. So we do got it. Smoke.
It's in the works.
You blacked out up there, Smoke?
He dropped his brain on the ground.
You blacked out up there, Smoke?
Yeah, he dropped his brain on the ground.
Look. Yeah.
He dropped his brain on the ground. It was fun, but it was fun to film. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was fun to film, like, to have the camera and to just watch Smoke do Smoke. Because
I like that.
we know Smoke as he can edit. We know that. We know he can animate. We know that. But when you get to the bars, Smoke has them, like, for real too.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And it was just the way, and it was effortless how he was coming off, right? And I'm filming. I'm like, oh shit, I'm Gene Panay right now. I got the goddamn camera. And then Gene Panay comes around the backside and is starting to watch, and then he's like, yo, is this freestyle? I said, I think so. I don't know. Like, he's going. That shit was ill as hell. It just came off real dope. And I want everybody to like a part of that. I want everybody to see that.
We're gonna have to run it. We're gonna have to run it the next.
I hope it's ready.
But I think remember we was talking about freestyling, and I think we had a conversation about writing, like Jay-Z writing.
Yeah,
I started writing while I was driving. I started writing
in your head.
Yeah, and I was like, it's not hard. Again, I said I did it before, but I didn't focus on it. Like I need to do it. I was like, damn, I was listening to this beat, and I was like, damn, let me start putting some bars together. And I was like, I can't fucking write because I'm driving. Let me start putting something together. And I think I got up to 12 bars. And it was retained, and it was just like that. And I was like, damn, I can go in the lab and lay this shit down immediately. So it's not that hard when you put your mind to certain things like that. And I just wanted to touch on that because I was like, that's crazy. I got some shit.
You wanted to touch on it?
I wanted to touch on it.
Yeah. Was it felt?
I don't know. That's up to the other person. I don't know what's felt. I touch a lot of stuff, but I don't know who feels what.
Pause, Granddad.
What I can't touch?
You said you touch a lot of stuff.
You said you touch a lot of stuff.
What's wrong with touching stuff?
That was perfect timing.
What is wrong with
that? Was perfect timing.
I mean, listen, to anybody out there who touching stuff, it's better to touch something than nothing. You don't want to be touching nothing.
So speaking of touching something, Chaka Zulu saw that man touching something.
Yeah.
And
what did he touch?
He saw him touching something, so he grabbed him and hold up, bro.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. That's a yeah.
Do you feel if you know that person is holding, do you feel like imminently your life is in danger no matter what the situation is?
In this day and age,
yes,
it's nothing wrong with reacting. You because again, everybody always say what could have happened, what shouldn't have happened. Like rest in peace, Nipsey Hussle. But I remember watching the video footage of that clown shit going on, and I was just like, it took was a split second of situational awareness. Not to say that he didn't have that, because again, he was on his own business, his own property.
Thinking he was secure.
You do not expect it to happen, and that's when it happens. And it's like with everybody, it's not no, you got to walk around with your guard up all the time, but just situational awareness where you're at, what you're doing, because no matter what you're doing and how good you're doing, that don't change how the rest of the world is moving.
Right.
Somebody out here hungry, somebody out here got revenge. Like they always say, the person who come back and get you is somebody that you was sitting with in elementary school.
You knew them
because they knew you, and now they're so baffled by your success.
Right.
And they're like, well, how is this person got it? I was sitting in class with this person. This nigga was eating boogers. This motherfucker was peeing on himself every time we had nap time. How does he have it? And that builds into resentment
jealousy,
and hate.
All of it.
Depending on what that person's life is, because if that person had an opportunity of success, then they straight. But if they was in there and they've gone through the hardest part, and again they haven't had anybody to mentor them and say, look, there's other ways that you can get it. You don't have to focus on the negativity of the world. Then that's how you end up being caught in the wrong place at the wrong time.
So let's
Chaka Zulu.
Let's talk about that though. I want to get into that because if you try to bring people in, right, if you do try to bring people in that you know from high school, grade school, and you try to bring these
from
people
the sandbox,
and they don't like the place that they need to be brought in. They want to be something other than. Is that you or is that them?
That's them.
Right. So, but you've presented the opportunity.
But it's also part you, because it's just like whoever you're gonna bring in your camp around certain things. Like if this my baby and it's making me money, whoever I bring in here, I need to
vet them.
Basically. So as I say, it's part you and your accountability, because you want to bring people on, and I get that you want to, in a sense, save, just for lack of better wording at this time, but you can't bring everybody with you. It's just as simple as that.
I always say it, if I ain't talk to you in a month, really it's a week, because so much stuff happened, but I try not to be that petty. But I constantly have to reintroduce myself to people who think that they know me, or assume that I'm supposed to know them, and I'm like, I don't know you. Dog, you want to go hang out? Let's go hang out, or let's go hit this spot. Nope, I will not be the setup. Who sent you? That's my attitude and energy with a lot of people. Like, what is your motive behind wanting to hang out? What is your motive wanting to be in this particular place? Even there's a lot of people who ask me to come through the studio and drop a verse, and I'd be like, I don't do things that way. I don't come to no studios. I don't hang out around no big entourages. I'm just not trying to be in that company, because again, I cannot control those variables.
Mhm.
Cannot control those variables. I don't know who you hanging with.
Mhm.
I don't know who might got a bullseye on your back and everything because I don't know
collateral
you.
damage.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's just I gotta let me reintroduce myself. I don't care if it's been a week. I'm like, okay, you good? Anything tragic happen in your life? Straight. Because before you come kick it with me and start trying to mingle with my time, I need to make sure you ain't on the run from nobody.
Right.
Or no some wild shit.
It's been a year of cutting people off.
It has. But
Yeah.
it's not bad though.
Yeah,
but
it's all dead weight.
But it's your mindset too, because I mean, when you cut, because I remember, I think it was 2017, right before the pandemic kicked off.
No, I like the wording. Keep on going. I like the wording. No, I just haven't mentioned the wording.
Remember, everybody was like
pandemic.
It was savage mode.
I love that.
Everybody's a savage. When it's savage, I'm a savage. Oh, it's time to go savage mode. I'm gonna stop fucking with these things. The savage mode. Yes, it's good. But then it's bad too, because if you're in savage mode and you haven't evaluated yourself, then it just looks like buffoonery. You know what I'm saying? Because if you have truly evaluated yourself, then you stop looking to other people and saying other people the problem. So it's like, what are you being savage for? What you just an angry menace just standing in a group amongst yourself?
I mean, that's what they talk about now with these black Air Forces. These kids are menaces with black Air Forces on. Like that's a whole.
That's the new thing now.
A black Air Force Ones.
If you have black
Air Force, if you have black Air Force Ones on, you are a menace. This is the younger generation. It's not our generation of people, but this is them.
Yeah, so you're a menace to society because you go wear black and Air Force Ones.
Well,
who's deeming them a menace?
I think the kids.
This is what kids are saying about each other.
About each other.
Yeah.
Age group.
I think it starts
I
on
think that actually spawned from TikTok. I mean, I don't know if it was kids or but it spawned from memes saying that,
right.
You know what I'm saying? That,
like these kids with silver caps and black Air Forces give you that bad kid type of energy with like
right, but it really came from old school cats saying if you was that old school dude with the black Air Forces with the do-rag on, then you was a menace. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
but it turned into the kids, you know what I'm saying, somehow.
Right.
But there's an outfit, and I mean, I'm sure I'm not in school. I have not been in school a while, but I'm sure they're in the high school. I'm just thinking high school level. With their community of everything that's going on, you got kids who can't afford Jordans, can't afford Yeezys.
I never understood that for kids and bullying. I'm like, so you laughing at me that like my mom can't afford something, like, cause like I'm not paying for these. Like, people gotta stop. Like, teach your kids not to be shitty individuals. Cause I've been a teacher in the school system.
If the parent is a shitty individual, who the kid gonna turn into?
And not teach it. That's why you ask anybody I went to middle school, high school, the 3 high schools I went to, and anything, they will probably say we thought that nigga was lame as hell because I didn't dress. I didn't dress, or I didn't play that role with the joint.
I'm like that in my work life. They were like, oh, okay. Like, I don't like y'all ain't trying to pressure anybody inside of my check. Like, I don't really care.
They look at you as a lame at work?
Nah, it's just like if they do see me.
I'll tell you, anybody, if you work with,
I ain't lame nowhere I go.
Our good co-host, she ain't lame, and we will come up there.
Damn,
I ain't come up there.
It's just how I look like if I do like wear something.
We'll host your show for you.
Yeah, that's code for every break time. We host the show.
We'll host your show.
It almost sounds like we gonna fuck you up.
How dare you?
Yeah, you want your show host, son? You want your show host, son? Keep talking that shit. You gonna get your show host.
We'll host your show.
You gonna get your show host. You wanna be out here putting on the show? I'm going to host it.
Nah,
going to host it for you.
Okay.
Violent and sexual.
I mean, but that's how I talk to people, because again, you can't incriminate yourself. So you gotta be like, hey,
cold language.
Keep fucking around with me. I'm gonna host your show.
We know you grew up hip hop. Got to say something different. Mean something completely different.
Host your show. Look, don't be a clown when the circus ain't around.
Yeah.
Don't be a clown when the circus ain't around.
Yeah.
I say that to all fellow rappers, all fellow entertainers. It is entertainment. It is Hollywood.
Yeah, period.
Do not be a clown when the circus is not around. If you ain't up on stage, if
do
you
not
ain't,
be a clown when the circus ain't around.
Rest in peace, PNB Rock.
PNB Rock.
Rest in peace.
Yo, they said that his girlfriend pinged their location.
She did, and I feel like, and everybody just
and they
switched
jumped
that
on
to
her like it was her fault.
I'm like, I pinged my location. I ain't nobody. It's just like a regular. type of thing to do.
Yeah, but I'm just saying though, like
what got him got though.
That's
but
it.
It is what got him got. But at the same time, though, like if that did get him got, it still ain't her fault. The nigga was gonna kill him regardless.
I mean, anybody could have pinged their location and sent a picture like that.
Grieving people are always going to point a finger. I mean, but if they really felt like it was her fault, she'd be seeing some charges. That's what I'm saying. She ain't seeing no charges.
Exactly, because she didn't do that shit maliciously.
Right. And you can't. There's no way legally to tie that to her. So it is not her fault. You don't know what type of beef he could have been dealing with before, because there's people out watching for people who are potentially
on their downfall, for real.
Potentially food. Young Dolph, he was at
Rest
the
in
cookie
peace.
spot. But you see, the day before, I think there was video. I don't want to say the day before, maybe the week before, there was a gas station across the street from the spot where a fan seen him and went live and was like, "Oh, Young Dolph here, such and such." He was getting gas, and they said allegedly you could see the guys. They were sitting off in the cut somewhere before he left the gas station and went to the cookie.
They already knew what it was.
So if they see your movements and they know how you move, and then that's it. Like when I got to DC, nobody knew I was in DC till it was like 2 days. And everywhere that I had been was what I was talking about. Oh yeah, I was over there.
Yeah,
I was over there. But I'm
I
not
don't
letting nobody
people,
know my movement.
I don't know. I don't understand people who check in when they get there. I don't understand that.
You
like
can
I've
do
been
that.
gone for an hour before I checked in.
But you can do that again. Just make sure that the circus is still in play. You don't want to be the clown when the circus ain't around. If you look like the clown, have you ever seen a clown just standing in the street by himself? Most people get annoyed. What the fuck is this clown out here doing? A meme, a mime, or a clown. But if you just see a person in a clown suit outside of a circus, you will look at them like they're crazy. But if they're in the circus, it's all norm. So when you at the show, go ahead, put all your shit on. You got your security around. There's enough
play your part
atmosphere for you to do what you're doing. Being at the airport is not the place. Again, for you got people who have egos, and they can do whatever they want to do. Do whatever it is you want to do. I'm just saying, don't be a clown when the circus not around. Somebody might want some peanuts.
We'll be back.
Hi, I'm Jeff Jones of Glory Elite Detailing. I've been coming to Jaegers now for over 10 years. The products here are awesome. It has helped to really build my business, sustain my business, and help me provide customers with great products such as heavy-duty interior, the Jaegers tire dressing, the wash and wax, the all-purpose cleaner, the high-gloss dressing. All is great. The customer service here is great. Al Carter, the owner, he's helped to actually strengthen me as an entrepreneur, help build me, give me pointers. So I thank Jaegers as an institution to help build entrepreneurs like myself at Glory Elite Detailing.
And if you guys aren't able to make it to the store, we'll be looking forward to you on the road. Service in Olive, Georgia. See you soon.
Already
back.
Furthermore, Podshow in the building. Hey, if you are watching us live, subscribe.
Subscribe.
Yeah.
Hit that subscription button.
That subscription button. Hit
You got
the
a little
thing.
bell on it.
Yeah, and get notified when we show up. We do want to get back into that, Chaka Zulu thing, because before that there was You did say P&B Rock.
Mm-hmm.
So somebody knew somebody somewhere was being someplace. You said Young Dolph was someplace and somebody saw it.
Mm-hmm.
Was Chaka Zulu at his establishment, and then, you know what I'm saying? Somebody showed up to. Did he have some kind of instigated
incident?
Yeah, like was it prior to, and then it manifested right here? You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because the way it looked like these people tried to set this dude up. Like,
right?
You know what I'm saying? Can we play that so we can start? It's
empty the clip.
Oh my God!
I'm trying to figure out how all of these law enforcement officers and DAs and everybody that's supposed to know the law watched a video of a 52-year-old man being jumped by 4 men in a stand your ground state and charged him with murder, aggravated assault. I'm trying to figure out how the fuck do you come up with that after watching this video? These 5 guys right here, 1, 2, 3, that's a hit, 4, 5, are, I'm assuming, waiting for Chaka. Chaka's over here in the corner getting his guest situated. Follow along because there's going to be a lot of moving parts. So, dude right here has some kind of issue with Chaka. He waiting for him to hit the corner. He literally standing there waiting for Chaka to come. So this is Chaka right here. He's walking this way. This dude starts to walk this way to confront Chaka. Pay attention. Big dude is about to go to the back of the car. Chaka comes up. This is Chaka right here. This is the dude that wanted to confront Chaka. Him and Chaka are having a conversation. Big dude is in the back. He done already got whatever he needed to get out. He's coming back over. He walked back over to the group. 1, 2, 3, 4. They're all sitting there watching Chaka and this dude have a conversation. If you see, this dude's hand is on his hip. Chaka believes that it's a gun in his waistband and is trying to stop him from pulling the weapon. He doesn't punch him. He doesn't pull his weapon. All he does is try to prevent him from pulling it. So here you go in real time. Chaka says, "Stop, bruh." I don't know if that's what he said in real life, but he's pushing him against the car so he doesn't have the ability to pull his weapon. Here are the guy's friends coming over. Big dude. First thing he does, punches Chaka in the side of the face. He hits the ground. Then they immediately start stomping him, kicking him, punching him. So I'm trying to figure out, how is Chaka the murderer when he is being beaten at his place of business? Security comes and breaks it up. This girl right here, pay attention. And the guy that, remember, started the shit to start with, punches her right in her face. Remember, no one's been arrested but Chaka, and all of these guys have been interviewed. Look at this. Chaka says, "Stop." They punch him. They start stomping him. Security runs over. They break it up. The dude that started it punches his girl. I guess that's legal in Georgia now because he has not been charged or arrested. Remember, Chaka's the only person that's been arrested at this point. Now, Chaka's finally on his feet. Those 2 aggressors are still trying to get at Chaka. Let's keep that in mind. This is Chaka. This is the kid that got shot. Remember, both of them are still trying to attack Chaka. My confusion is why the DA would charge Chaka Zulu with murder and aggravated assault after watching a video where he was attacked, stomped, jumped, punched, and when he got to his feet in a stand your ground state, the law says I do not have to run or retreat when my life is in danger. And clearly, considering he got shot multiple times, His life was in danger. Are we not going to look at any of that? And here's what bothers me the most. The DA is a black female. Her responsibility to black men is greater. The expectation is greater, not to protect black men who are committing crimes, but to make sure that the laws are applied equally and fairly and according to the statute. And the statute in Georgia says that a man has a right to meet deadly force with deadly force and stand his ground. He does not have to retreat. He does not have to run away. He does not have to pretend as if it never happened. He has the right to defend himself and his person. And that is exactly what Chaka did. And if all of that was on camera, how the fuck did you turn up and say he committed murder, aggravated assault? How did you come up with that? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Let me touch on it. So did they say that they were able to produce a weapon from the alleged attackers?
I see no evidence of it.
So that might be the deciding factor. And again, we're talking about this open forum. We don't have
this is alleged. Everything is alleged.
Everything is alleged.
So everything is situational. But if there is no weapon produced, then that could be a big factor, because now they're saying you had a weapon.
Mm-hmm.
You could have fled the scene. You could have ran away from it. Yeah, they might have tapped on your ass for a minute, but you had a weapon and you discharged your weapon. But you had security around you.
He shot himself?
No, he didn't shoot. Well, that's what I'm saying. I got to see where it was, because you got to know where that came from.
Mm-hmm.
Who the gun belonged to, who discharged the weapon, where it came from, and everything that went around that stuff.
Right.
So if he got shot, I mean, in none of that clip,
you didn't see none of that.
No weapon was produced. So at what point, I would like to see the rest of it. I'm sure they can't show it, but at what point did the situation go on?
So I do want to say rest in peace to dude who's dead, because you know what I'm saying. A loss of life occurred.
Yeah.
Right. So number one, because I don't want to dismiss the fact that somebody's dead.
All right.
But in the circumstance, like you said earlier, don't be a clown
when the circus ain't around.
Right. So he put himself in a situation to have lost his life, based on whatever it was around Chaka Zulu or the business or some bad blood between something that happened in the past.
Right. Or it could have been words, because I mean, I see this happen all the time. Everybody get out, they hanging out, they have some drinks, somebody has some words, somebody takes it and push it to a level, but you always got to have somebody who pulls the person back and be like, man, come on, man, listen, it ain't.
Gotta be an accountable one in the group.
Yeah, again, accountability, that word. It got to be somebody who's not always just back there to rev up and start shit, like even with King Von and Lil Tim and them. It's like at any point in time, Lil Tim could have told Quando Rondo, hey, let's go this way. But Lil Tim was there to pull the pistol. I don't think he shot Von. I think they said the officers were the ones who shot King Von or whatnot. So, but again, the difference in having somebody there to pull you out of that shit and say, look, it's not worth it, is what we need to have more of, because it has been documented too many times. It has been shown. A gun is not a, you can't retract that. Once you pull out that pistol and brandish it, once you brandish your weapon, now
you give license to everybody else to brandish theirs.
You not only give license to, but it's the fear that you put in, and it's the will that you start.
Right.
So if I come into the middle of somewhere and be like, hey, fuck everybody, I might not even, the pistol might not even be loaded. Somebody in there who can be a licensed carrier could say, oh, this guy's a threat, let me shoot him.
That's exactly
like the gentleman who got killed for reacting to an active shooter, but there was another person who was a carrier who thought he was a part of being the active shooter and shot the guy who was actually trying to save the day, and the guy died. So that's like, we in a store, Muda is the aggressor, she out here letting it fly, and then I'm like, oh shit, she's about to kill a lot of women and children. I got my joint, let me put her down. I fire at her, and then you see me and you like, oh, this nigga shooting a young lady. Now I get shot for trying to stop her from doing the damage.
Right.
And it's like, once you have a weapon, these things can happen.
It's a domino.
It's a domino effect. So in this case where you got If Chaka Zulu seen he had the thing on his waist, by all means and all right, Chaka Zulu said, my story is not going to end with them saying I was out here caught lacking. Dog, let's not do that. Let's not do that. He didn't know that he had 3 or 4 people sitting around the car. So of course they come over there and now they don't know that.
From behind rocked them.
But again, they're not processing that, oh, my man was reaching. That's like you being out somewhere, and if I see somebody pushing you, I don't know if you started the problem or not, but I'm gonna come make sure somebody here got a roll.
Right.
So again, it's a lot of stuff in this story that's going to come out the light, but speaking at it from the front side of not knowing the back end, I already know how this story goes. I've already seen this story happen a million times. I've already seen people out here making bad decisions or being in poor judgment moments, and the shit getting out of hand before they can, it ain't just about flexing. Oh man, I'm the big bad wolf,
right?
And people just gonna be like, oh, that's cool. Somebody gonna want to check the wolf. So it is unfortunate that money lost his life, but it needs to be a lesson to somebody else, and hopefully it hits home for somebody else. It ain't worth all that, man.
It's really not.
You a walk. Go
It
hit
needs
the
to
corner.
hit
Go hit
home
the
with
block.
the younger generation, because I think that we have the wisdom and discernment to know the differences and stuff now. Like, we had a stand your ground state, and we passed new gun laws. Like, the younger generation, that's how they solving everything from the simplest.
Well, and again, it's too. We got to take accountability as the older generation, because that's what we left them with. Like, I don't think nothing changes when you're young. Everybody goes through the same indestructible cycle. So it really takes some type of mental reform. Like, we need police reform. We do need rearing reform. Like how you said, well, the kids is not the kids' fault, and parents need to teach their kids not to be assholes.
Right.
But if your parents were assholes, like, I know a lot of people I went to school with where I'm like, and again, touching on, like, yeah, I'm not surprised your kid is
who he is.
Is who he is, because you were this way in school. Yeah, like I'm who lets you parent? But yeah, so
but
somebody watching this, we talking about.
But
I'm talking about somebody. I'm talking about one of y'all.
But even in the music, like,
look, zoom in on my eyes. I'm talking about one of y'all.
For real, zoom in.
But the music though, we had 3 6 Mafia. We had Anger,
the Locks.
Like, we had grunt music.
The Locks.
Right? We had grunt music.
The guns the way they have it now.
Yeah.
We have like
Onyx.
this stand your ground law.
Yeah.
Right. So it's
that's
like,
what I'm saying. So it's not even that. It's
throw your guns in the air.
I don't think exactly. Throw your guns in the air, like
not Locks,
to the
but
club.
Onyx.
Onyx.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, I don't think it's just that. I think it has a lot to do with the way, like, we play video games. I really do think it's the gaming.
Yeah.
There's kids on Grand Theft Auto. Like, if you watch TikTok videos and you see people, they're like, yo, squad, pull up. And then the squad pull up and they just, everybody draw down on the dude. And I think they're taking this mentality into the real world. That's where the reality and fiction have meshed. You know what I'm saying? I think that's what it is. And now that it's 4 kids in my neighborhood who walk down the block, hoodies on, masks on their face, with guns tucked in their shirt.
Whole push shiesty.
Just the whole, the whole thing.
But again, I say to that again, it's nothing wrong, because again, if I was coming up now and I was their age, I would be on the same shit. I was just telling somebody the other day, I used to walk around with a sword. It was more of a walking cane. I didn't think I was going to have to
use it right
with somebody. But again,
you did have a sword in high school.
Oh hell yeah, I was in the school. I got kicked out.
I'm over here like that. It's coming back to me somehow.
I'm on the martyr and everything with it every day. But it's I understand the kids wanting to be prepped, but there needs to be an old head of somebody teaching them, hey, listen, you can't just be out on Front Street like that. Or at least if y'all gonna be squatted up for a cause. Y'all are monitoring the neighborhood. You all are out here making sure that there's no other mischievous shit going on, that our old women and our old men are not being harassed and have to deal with, because it's going on. It is the hood. There's drug sales going on everywhere. There's crookedness going on everywhere. But somebody has to monitor it and police it. So I'm not mad at the kids for being strapped. Stay strapped.
I'm not mad at them for it.
not at all.
But when you think about how easy it is for them too, it's a simple little, yo, you looked at me wrong.
Yeah.
Just like she was saying. It's not like it's, yo, you raped my sister and I'm getting get back.
Right.
No, nigga, you looked at me wrong. I crossed the street and instead of nodding down, I nodded up.
Yeah.
What does that mean, bro? And then it turned into a bow.
And it's squat, and that's the thing.
It's super petty, is what it is.
It really
not
do.
super petty. It's
because when you think of somebody losing their life, and it's like, oh, the conversation could have been started. They literally could have just been in high school flexing on each other, and one of them got embarrassed.
That's what I'm saying.
And that could have literally just been that. And you think of somebody losing their life because they was embarrassed.
I mean, if you look at the world and where it is now, and I take it back to stagecoaches and cowboys and natives. If I want what you have, what's going to stop me from taking it? Other than me. If I want what you have, what is going to stop me from taking it? This is the world that we live in. There's laws and stuff that govern certain stuff, but in certain parts, certain regions, certain little nooks and crannies, it is a dog eat dog world. Even in business, you go up in corporate America, there are people constantly trying to get over each other and hey, well fuck her. I'm not gonna send this fax. I'm gonna make sure they get written up or they don't get the promotion. There's all of this competition. So to see it happen on the kids and with guns, it just looks so much more well, the kids with pistols, but I'm like, this shit is happening on so many different levels, and the kids are seeing it. They're seeing adults behave this way. So they're like, well, what are you going to tell me about being civilized if this is what y'all doing as adults? You all are bickering and doing this and getting over each other. I need to start early, and starting early is in this neighborhood. If you look at me funny,
what's the drug commercial? Back in the day, it was it.
You talking about Dare?
No, it was I think it was a marijuana commercial, and the dad is badgering the child in the room about smoking weed, and he was like, "Where did you learn this from?" It was like, "I learned it by watching you, Dad. I learned it by watching you."
Right.
That's an old ass commercial.
I remember that joint.
Yeah, but the
No pun intended.
The thing is that's what I'm trying to say. It's the same shit just recycled over and over again. So if the parenting is not happening, where you're not rearing your child in a manner where you understand where your child's at, and I think that's what the disconnect is. A lot of us don't know where our children are, what they're doing, when they're doing it, and we just allow them to explore and be in a world.
It's sheltering.
And then they go out and experience the world that they're going to be a part of, not that we're going to be a part of. And then we hold them accountable for something we don't have no damn clue about. How can we hold them accountable if we don't know what environment they're in? Right. So that to me bothers me, because I see I'm extremely passionate about it, because I have 3 males that I'm rearing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? One of them doesn't even, he's in the workforce. I went to his job the other day, and the guy tells me that he's the hardest worker in the building. I'm impressed by that, because I didn't expect that from Davion.
You're surprised.
It surprised the shit out of me.
But why though? If you've been putting, and I'm not questioning,
because he didn't do it in school.
But again, it don't.
School ain't for everybody.
It ain't for everybody. And then, like, remember I was saying, them seeds you plant, you're not going to make a kid do what you want them to do just because you tell them. You have to show them, and they have to go out and kind of experience it. Like, I was always a person who, you can tell me, I will believe it, but I'm still going to go see, because I want to know what the threshold of it is. So if you say, hey,
what they call that, hard-headed?
I was hard. They call it hard-headed, but I was also
stubborn.
Not stubborn. I think it was more of experimental, because you get more of an experience.
You're curious.
Not curious. I just wanted to know the whole totality of the lesson, not only what I was taught, not only what I was shown, but so I can now go tell somebody, yo, this tree is really potent. If I ain't never smoked a tree, how am I going to tell somebody the tree is potent? If I'm going to say, look, if you don't manage your money well, if I've never been broke and out, how can I really make that hit home and
Right.
sit with somebody else. So it wasn't me being hard headed. I was just like, I understand what you all are saying. Let me experience this so I can embody this. So now that it really sits home for me. So now when I make a decision and I'm adamant on doing something or not doing it, that's why I say, no, I'm not coming to your studio. No, I'm not coming to your studio. No, I'm not coming out randomly to just hang out somewhere where you don't even know the layout of the building, because that's how I look at things now. I need to know who can get in the back door, who could come flying through the window, can SWAT drop in from the top of the ceiling. Is there a camera up there in that corner? Like, it's just, I see things.
That's
and I
something you gotta
understand it.
teach people.
You got to teach them, but you got to also
that's
go
called
through it to know.
situational awareness.
Yeah,
You gotta
you
understand.
gotta teach people
like,
that.
I don't know. I think the weird part about all of that though is most guys don't learn that except through other men.
Broken men. This generation has learned a lot through broken men.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Through music also, and that's why I brought up no diss to anybody who has been a part of the circus, because the circus is putting stuff out that we've all taken in. We all listen to 3-6 Mafia. We all listen to Bone Thugs. We all listen to the Locks. We all listen to Onyx. We all listen to all of these people who were influential in some way. But now when I see them, I'm like, oh, you're a grown adult. You're not really promoting that. You was just rapping. So what about all the people who have been, you know what I'm saying?
Taking it literally?
Right. Because you took the broken message, and the broken message is what we got. We didn't get that wholesome song about, you know, having some type of identity or having some substance about yourself. What we got was the fuck your bitch. Kanye just said it. Why every song we make, it got to be I fucked your bitch, I'm gonna kill you, I'm making more money than you, I'm such and such,
Right.
in order for it to be the big. Oh, that's the guy.
A pop, right.
I just heard the baby saying he put a bar in there saying
About Meg.
about him and Megan Thee Stallion slept together again.
Oh, when so many men became such little
Pillow talkers.
little pillow talkers.
I mean, because again,
It's raised by broken men type of mentality, because there's no uplifting.
I won't say that.
No, because when I
I'ma
think
say
about
it.
music and I hear music from black males, unless it's in the R&B category, it's nothing uplifting to black women.
I agree.
But you know why?
I ain't gonna justify it, but as much shit as she talked about, homie, he's just like, look, you fucked me, bitch. So hey.
And I feel like he just talking because he knows it's just gonna be that. Like, I don't feel like she lying on what she really be saying, because it's like some people just real raw with it. It's like, if I fucked you, I fucked you. If I didn't, I didn't.
And it's cool, and it's cool with it. So
like with the like she got mad for real, you know what I'm saying, with Baby, because he was, you know what I'm saying, kicking it with Tory Lanez, especially during they shit. You know what I mean?
I think like her song with him had just came out and they were still like promoting it whatever. So like I can understand how that would look from a business aspect from her. It's just, you know, hey, you on a song with Meg, and then, you know, you going out here doing these things with Tory. He was his own separate artist, but I understood what it was at the time.
And Meg was a hot commodity, so I think, you know, she was a hot commodity. She was brand new, and you got to understand when some of these artists are at that point where people are just starting to recognize them, they're still fans. So when they're being put in these rooms, and it's like, yeah, you might be the headliner, but here's this artist that I've been watching for years,
the whole time,
around here. So I mean, all of these situations, it can happen. I think the Baby put that in there because he knew it was going to get a lot of buzz.
Right, because everybody, we live in this like, you know, in this type of society where it's like everybody like, oh, okay, Meg. Like, I'm like, dudes lie on their dick too.
What's the problem?
Regularly.
Right.
What's
So
the
it's like
problem?
nobody ever questioned that for a second. It's just like, oh, damn, Meg a hoe.
Nah, and again, I don't think, because I didn't think when I heard the line, I wasn't like,
she's a Hobian.
She's a Nubian.
I mean, is that a trophy?
What?
Hidden Meg? Is that like?
Listen, and it's men out here on whatever level that will hit a bad bitch like a trophy, and that's just as raw as I can put that.
Yeah.
It's no feelings attached. It's just to tell basically my homeboys I fucked her.
Right. And but mean,
women don't do that.
I need
a
women do that too.
It
That's
go
what I'm
both
saying.
ways.
That's why I said I don't think it's a broken.
Listen,
I don't think it's a
we
broken
do that
man
with every
thing.
dude.
I don't think that's what I'm saying. I don't think it's a broken man thing. I think it's a broken people thing.
To what? For that part?
Right. You said how dudes be pillow talking.
Right. So that don't come from you being a broken man. You want a pillow talk.
No, that comes from you knowing and learning how women are.
Mm-hmm.
You understand because you were raised around. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you're in a home where you have 17 women,
but they pillow talking with other males.
If you want nobody to know you fuck somebody, don't fuck them.
But I'm saying
They
if you're in a
pillow talking
room
with other males.
if you're in a room with 17 women, raised by 17 women, and you're a young man, and you grow up listening to all these women do these things, and you have no male guidance in your life the entire time, you don't think you're gonna sound like them?
I don't know if that's just like the new culture of it, because that ain't always how it's been. I noticed that in the past few years.
Niggas been pillow talking. Niggas been pillow talking.
True.
That's what I'm saying.
It's just so obvious and publicized now.
Right, because also the same way Quest was saying, we have these same broken men who taught us how to be hyper masculine. They didn't teach us how to be pillow talkers in a sense, but what did they do? They taught us one aspect of this. So now if you're going to look at the other side of this, you have to look at the side where women are allowing us who are rearing us and raising us, who are being friends to the children. Not like my mom was my mom to me. She didn't friend me.
Right.
This generation is friending their children.
Yeah.
So when they're rearing their children, what's happening?
You get in the division of simps. You get some of the simps, and then you get some who look at women objectively. And I think it's the same vice versa, because I know men and women who come from a single parent home, and I mean, like, I'm talking a daughter who was raised by a son, and I'm talking about a son who was raised by a mother. So I know some of those sons who mother was like, hey son, fuck these bitches, you get your money, don't be getting all caught up and all boo loving everything. And I know some guys who told their daughters, fuck these niggas, don't be looking for nothing more, get what you need out of them and keep it moving. So you get all of this shit mixed in together. And again, that's the comment section.
Can I ask y'all a question?
Go ahead.
When did locker room talk become pillow talking?
It was always pillow talking.
No, pillow talking is when you laying next to your broad and you telling her
some
you ain't
shit.
supposed to be fucking telling her. That's what pillow talking is.
Telling her stuff
locker
like what?
room talk is what niggas do amongst niggas. And these females, when it came to this whole Tory Lane situation, they just heard some locker talk. That's all that is. Like it
I
ain't
agree.
nothing more than that. Like I think pillow talking is a kind of way to kind of the
And I guess
it
for
up a little
me,
bit.
in hearing this,
You
I'm
know
like,
what
I don't even get the locker room talk, because it's just like
it's the
even if
same
I was
thing
a
as
dude.
salon talk.
It's who?
It's salon
thing as
talk,
salon talk.
barbershop
You know,
talk,
barbershop
locker,
talk.
yeah, all of this
Salon
shit.
talk, we talking about different things. Like, that's intimate.
Different dicks.
That's what he's trying to say.
Let me ask you.
I'm not in the salon for the other females talking about like, oh yeah, my man dick and this, and like, I'm not sitting here telling another female in the salon, in our salon conversations, like who I had sex with. Like, I talk about my relationship aspect, but like that sexual part is very intimate.
Yeah,
but
So it's
like,
like,
locker room, but intimacy
there's a whole
there's a whole
called
missing
lip
of intimacy though. So, and I think that's a huge part of what's
right.
There is no intimacy in what we're doing as far as music is concerned. There's no intimacy in it because even the R&B artists sound like rappers the way they talk about women. Is what she was just saying. There's no intimacy in it.
Locker room talk always threw me for a loop, and what it caused for me was for me not to fuck with a lot of females.
Right.
And again, I didn't like locker room talk because sometimes, like we said earlier, dudes lie on their dick, women lie on their pussy.
And then it's like they telling this experience that they have with that female, and like you said, like it puts other people off to that person. It's like, hold on, like if you really want to take accountability, like your homeboy a shitty person, like that's probably why that female was like that. So it's like he pillow talking and telling all these things, and you don't want to fuck with her, and she could be a really good person, but because he done said all these things about her,
I didn't want to deal with a lot of people in high school because of that. Because I'm like, not to judge people or dudes to say that I was better or worse, but I'm just like, I know this guy's character from the locker room smoke. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know this guy, and if she's willing to be gullible enough to go for him, I can't deal with her.
And see, and that's just it. It's like some don't be gullible. It's like a whole lot of guys, and that's why like I take my time with different things, because you can only fake some things for so long.
Right.
Some guys is really, it's manipulative in their approach. It's like, I want to be this way to get what I want out of this person.
This is true.
So it's basically like, if I approach this person and you know, maybe as myself, I ain't gonna get no pussy from this girl.
Yeah.
So it's just like I gotta manipulate or be this type of person to pretty much get what I want. and they lacking that intimacy. They like lacking in so many other skills to build a relationship. Meanwhile, like the female doesn't know none of that.
So let me ask you this, Smoke, because you did say pillow talk. So pillow talking, because I had a real close female friend, and I used to give her game on how guys was. Is that pillow talking?
Ratting on niggas, yeah.
Okay, so now let me ask you this. No.
That is pillow talking. There could be good pillow talking. There could be bad pillow talking. It's pillow talking regardless.
But let me ask you this. So now, if I'm a father of a daughter and I'm giving her the game, what's the difference in that?
You're not laying in bed with your daughter talking to her, for one. And for two,
that's number one.
Yeah, but I never said laying in the bed. I just said I had a female friend. We was not sexually involved or intimate at all, but we would talk actively about.
That was my fault. I assumed that y'all was, you know what I'm saying?
You assume. See, that's that locker room talk shit.
I assumed that based on what you said.
Say a female is a friend, it mean that I got to be.
In the context of what we were talking about, I would assume that. You know what I'm saying?
I got to be smashing her cheeks just because we affiliate.
In the context of what we were talking about, you would. But since you're saying that we're not, so that you guys aren't, and you just randomly going out telling chicks, hey, I mean. What the fuck?
It would be beneficial to have a female friend to tell you things about females as well. So it's like
because I and honestly, this girl gave me so much game on women and everything because I was naive and I didn't think that women was as promiscuous as they was for a long time in my life, even through high school. No. I didn't know. I used to. I'm gonna tell you like
he did tell you he grew up in church.
I put pussy on a pedestal for the first 18 years of my life because I was raised around. I had two older sisters, and then I also had a mother who I looked up to and appreciated. So I didn't want to disrespect women at all because I felt
you ain't the only way.
In some way,
aunt, my grandmother, my mom.
Correctly.
That's what everybody tell me. But then I found out that.
From the male perspective,
it's hot girl summer, and then they busting it open. Trust me, all this was a culture.
No, as far as like how you treat women, like as far as them women and how they're treating themselves, that's completely different.
But how do I differentiate?
So does a man who's taking advantage of a woman's promiscuousness is he wrong for that?
How's he taking advantage of her promiscuous?
That's the point I'm trying to get to. How is it taking advantage of somebody if she's just giving it for free?
And that's what I'm saying. Like
for free for a lot of people.
But when you said earlier, Muda, you was like, guys will put on an act to be something that they're not in order to get with this chick. I now at my 37 ripe age feel like it goes both ways all the time.
Oh yeah, for sure. There are females that put on like them crazy
your representative
females.
Shows the fuck up, and you last for about 8 to 9 months, and then the motherfucker behind it, the mask fell.
Yeah.
And oh shit, you ain't nothing like you showed me you was.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. And now here it is. I actually have feelings for your ass now, and I don't want to have feelings for your ass now.
Hey, next episode we are going to get into relationship advice.
107.
You have to, and again, I tell people you got to go through the seasons with people. You got to see what type of person a person is before you decide if you like them or not.
Exactly.
If you want to sleep with them,
gotta take your time. It's a seed. Gotta let it grow.
That's a part of it. I mean, sleeping with somebody, because again, I don't just say go do that and then be like whatever, because again, a lot of shit can come from that. Children can come from that. STDs can come from that. A lot of built up emotions that wasn't planned for. But we're gonna get into relationship advice, the do's and don'ts
on the next episode.
How not to pillow talk. Don't be snitching on your homeboys, because now I got to go reevaluate myself, because Smoke said I be pillow talking. So
you're not pillow talking.
I gotta get the dribble off the side.
But I thought it was locker room talk. It's
locker room talk when you're talking amongst the fellas, but when you are laying in the bed woman and you telling a woman what all your homeboys is doing.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the dudes.
Locker room talk is with your other guy friends. Pillow talk is with your lady. Like doing it out in the open and telling everybody you just a bitch.
Damn the baby. Damn the baby.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to Furthermore.
Damn.
Yeah. Furthermore. Check. Come on. Take a moment, reflect, we just gave you an earful. They breaking down the blocks while we build with some ill tools. Over the hill views while we charging the battle. Time is over the limit, critical with your cattle. Casual, curious content, change for your nonsense, raw thoughts. Furthermore, no drooling, no vomit. View it a farm, and we invite you to with the comments. Till the next time, take the share button and harm it.